Hi, how are you? Welcome back to vlog 84. Now, I don't know whether the light's too good, it keeps seeming to move in, but I wanted to show you where I'm sitting today, which is Souk Shark in Kuwait. And this is a marina type. I've used this as the backdrop for a couple of other vlogs, but it's looking particularly nice today. It's also absolutely roasting, so I'm trying to hang about in the shade so as not to get too sunburnt. But I don't know if I step back, if you can see me clearly. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, just wanted to update you. So we're still on our run of setting up your business with zero money, and the topic that we're going to look at today, remember we broke it down into 5 sections. We covered advertising, and today we're going to cover how to get office space with no money. And this is something that will probably be in your business plan if you've got a business plan for setting up your business. And a lot of businesses require space. So for example, if you're setting up something in manufacturing, in retail, or a call centre, stuff like that would traditionally require a lot of space. But do you need that space right at the start? And how much space do you need? And actually, if you're just setting up a business where everybody works from laptops, do you need any space at all? So let's start with the basic one. You're setting up a service business and you're offering your sort of services for money. Most of the time with a service business, you will be dealing with the clients and customers where they are. So for example, if you've got a window cleaning business, you don't need an office because you're going to be out cleaning windows. Unless you have something where you're working from the laptop all day, and then you feel as if you need an office to work from that. But do you really? Having a physical presence isn't as important now as it used to be. It used to be very big in terms of footfall. So you would want to have an office right in the centre of town so that people would walk by and pop into your office. People don't find companies that way anymore. They don't find local businesses by walking up and down the high street. They find local businesses by Googling them. So as long as you have a big presence online, you don't need a large physical presence. Now you may also then say, well, I need somewhere for my mail to go to. Well, there's a lot of options for that. You can either work from home and make your home your office, or you can use some form of kind of free post box, or there's actually these co-working spaces which are set up. In the Glasgow area, there's a really good one called Collaborate, run by a friend of mine, Teresa, and they offer a variety of options, and you can rent a desk there from, say, 1 day a week. So if you rent a desk somewhere, sorry about that noise, I don't know what that is, Coast Guard or something? No, it's a police car. So if you rent a desk 1 day a week, that still gives you a registered office, but you're not having to pay for a full month's rent, you're not having to pay rates, you're not signed into a 5-year lease, you've not committed to all these things, you're literally just almost kind of paying as you go. So a system like that should be perfect for you starting up. Likewise, if you can get the registered address sorted, so for example, if you can register at your house, you can work from Starbucks. Like, there's absolutely nothing to stop you just taking your laptop, going to Costa Coffee and working from there for the whole day. If you're going to spend your money on an office, and say you've budgeted something like, so for your first 3 months of setting up, say you've budgeted something like maybe £6,000 for an office, it could be about £2,000 a month all in. Instead of that, why don't you take some of that money and spend it on a members only business club membership? And you can pay for these monthly, and I think the maximum you would pay for something like that would maybe be about £50 to £100 a month. So instead of an office at £6,000, if you get a business club exclusive membership for £100 a month, that's only going to cost you £3,000 over 6 months, and you instantly get access to other people who are there. It also means that you can sit and nurse a coffee for more than an hour, because if you're anything like me and you've tried to work in Starbucks for the full day, you start getting asked to leave after you've been there for about 3 to 4 hours to make way for other customers. Somewhere else that I've found it really, really good to work from, and I know you're going to roll your eyes, it's actually quite good to work from bars. This is particularly true in New York, and this is not so you can get drunk while you're working, because there's absolutely nothing worse than trying to work while you're drunk. You can sit and nurse a beer in a bar at a table for as long as you want, as long as it's not a Friday or a Saturday night. So you can buy a beer, and then you can buy a water, and then you can even just drink soft drinks all day, but nobody's really going to be asking you to leave. You can set a tab and just kind of sit there in most places. So you don't have to drink alcohol, but going into places like that where nobody's in a rush to get you out the door are actually quite good places to work from. Also, there's a great benefit to working remotely. Not only do you get to meet and be in contact with a lot of different people, but you actually force yourself out of a comfort zone. which an office can very quickly be. If you're working from an office every single day, you're falling into a routine, and routines are, breeding grounds for comfort zones, because as soon as you're in a routine, you get so used to that, and a routine very, very quickly becomes a rut, and you don't want to get into a rut. So actually, when you're forcing yourself out into a different environment every day, you're meeting new people every day, you're striking up conversations with strangers, that's actually, that grows you as a person, grows you as an entrepreneur, and will more than likely grow your business. So I've covered a couple of options there: getting a business membership, just working from Starbucks, working from home. All of those options are free, apart from, say, the business membership and the cost of like your coffees and stuff like that. Still going to come in much less. So if you were going to spend £6,000 in an office, because let's be honest, you still have to drink coffee during the day anyway. If you're going to spend £6,000 in an office, we've got that down to maximum £300, which would be your business club membership. Okay. So what's another way? Imagine you wanted to get it for absolute zero. Imagine you didn't want to outlay anything at all. You wanted to take in your own sandwiches, a flask of coffee in the morning, not spend a penny all day, and not sign up to any business club memberships. Can you do it? Absolutely. This is again where your networking comes in, okay? Now, I know of at least 4 to 5 people who I met when I was first starting up, who would have been happy to give me desk space, or at least, you know, some form of temporary working accommodation, if you like, for free at the start of my journey. And how do you get this? Well, you get this through relationship building. I now repay that favour to the world, repay that favour to the entrepreneurial community, if you like. And I have 3 startups which are based out of my office in Glasgow, and I don't charge them anything, and actually we actively help them. So we will not only cover all the expenses for their office, but we help them by giving them sort of, you know, startup coaching and, you know, promoting their business and helping them if they want to host events and all that kind of stuff. Because when people do it for you at the beginning, you want to do it for them. So go networking and tell people you don't have an office yet, and tell people that you're considering setting up in the city centre, but you know, you're unsure of rates, and build partnerships with people. And especially if you're in areas like, say for example, tech and stuff like that, where having a partnership is ultra important. That can extend to, okay, we're going to work together. Okay, what do you have that I can have, and what do I have that you can have? And you will find very quickly that a lot of the people who are setting up businesses already have very good links within the business community, and they'll know somebody that will let you guys borrow a desk. A lot of businesses have spare desks, and the return that they might want for that probably won't be money if they're trying to help you out, but there may be something else you can do in return. Maybe you can man the reception for them one day a week, or small things like that. There's loads and loads of examples. You just need to ask until you get. So that's if you've got a business that's not something like, say, retail or manufacturing, okay? Say you want to set up a retail or a manufacturing business, and you're like, but Angela, I want to set up a clothes shop. I need to set up a clothes shop, and it's got to be in a space. I would still say mostly retail, you should be focusing online, and you don't actually need a physical presence for that until you build your followers. I mean, if you look at the rise of Nasty Gal, which is an online shopping retailer set up by Sophia Amoruso in LA, and they didn't get a warehouse until she was about 4 or 5 years into her journey, and it was already, I believe, a multi-million-pound company, and she ran it from her spare room until then. So when you're sending clothes to people, as long as you're offering, say, free returns or something like that, you don't need somewhere they can come and try them on. Plus, how many of us actually go physical shopping anymore? We order online and it's there for us the next day. So provide a service like that, and you can do it from your bedroom. There's also the sort of the new, God, I'm forgetting my words today. The new popularity, the rising popularity of pop-up shops. So say you did have a particular product that you want to display, or you're an artist and you want to display your art, and it needs to be in a physical location. Go to somewhere which does month-long leases and ask for a month's lease, and then your only commitment is to that month. There's more of them than you think, and if you can't find any, approach your local Chamber of Commerce and your local business networking organisations and ask for their help finding one. And what you'll find is, where these shops are and where these spaces are, you're in an instant community of other people who are in the same boat. So again, you can work together to try and help each other, but that month of renting that space will give you two things. It will give you experience of paying the bills for renting a space, and it will give you proof of concept. It will show you that your idea works, and it will show you that it works in a physical location. Okay, lastly, manufacturing. So you've got a manufacturing business and you are creating things, right? This is not an area I know a lot about, but you can outsource all of your manufacturing and all of your distribution when it comes to setting up a company. In some situations, you don't even need to pay up front. It can be payment when you receive the money. I would particularly look into areas like the Far East and look into the options that are available for outsourcing and distribution there. If you need a hand with this, drop me a line and I'll put you in touch with somebody in a location that would be suitable for you, because we don't work with distributors and we don't work with wholesalers, but distributing and wholesaling is a huge business. There's people out there who have these spaces who want to be paid for using the spaces for something useful. You don't have the space, but you've got something useful that you want to use this space for. So contact them and marry it up. And don't ever think that you're too small to be contacting these big places. Don't think, oh, there's a big distributor in China, but he's got 100 acres and I only need 100 square feet or something like that. But he might have thousands of companies that he works for, and every income is a bit of income. There will be a distributor or an outsourcer or a wholesaler to fit exactly what you're looking for. And what that means as well is you've also got the chance of getting your product distributed into other markets, which you wouldn't be able to do, or well, you would be able to do, but maybe you wouldn't think of from a manufacturing plant in Hillington. It would be easier, it would be harder to send abroad. So there's all these actual advantages to your business being completely mobile. So why would you want an office? Okay. When you get a year down the line, or say 6 months to a year down the line, you probably want somewhere where all your staff can come together to work from the same place. That's fine. By then you're making money. Don't do it when you're starting up, and you definitely don't need it for the first 3 months. So first 3 months, if in your business plan you had $6,000 for an office, we've just got it down to 0, okay? We're doing quite well here. Right, I'm looking forward to the next one. I'll try and get to a better location where it's not so dull, and I'll speak to you soon. Okay, cheers, bye.